Hello and welcome to MGP405. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Konnichiwa.
Hello.
Hello. How are we all on this fine week?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all
All
right.
right.
You don't sound giddy and excited to have Sheepdog back in your presence. This time last week, Pab, I had to console your tears before the podcast because you thought you might never speak to him again. You were so worried about him. But now he's back and you're not bothered.
But this is the thing.
I had him rolling in the pre-show. That's, I was there making him, roll around on the floor laughing.
Exactly. This is what I mean. We had him for 20 minutes, and I'm happy, and we're done now for another 6 months.
You've had enough again now.
Yeah.
We were just saying before we started, we've started recording this week's show later than we finished recording last week's show. And so now we know who it is who takes up our entire Friday evening rather than the 1 hour we actually need to record the show.
I've got the receipts right here, mister. I need to have a poo. I'm having to do story time. It helps me poo. Pab telling me he's looking great when I said, are we starting at 10? How are we looking? You tweeting your picture of your calendar on the wall and learning all about the zodiac signs.
I was bought. They're not the zodiac signs. They're the Chinese year sign. Yeah, Chinese years.
I thought they were zodiacs.
No, I was born in the year of the dog. You and Anna were born in the year of the ox. Pab was born in the year of the tiger. I know all about the Chinese years now. I've got that calendar.
I've always felt like an ox.
You've always looked like an ox, so it balances out quite nicely.
Is that just a cow, or is it another thing?
I mean, you're the ox, Sheepdog. I would hate to speak for you. I don't think it's my place.
Well, what is an ox? I don't know that
I can't define to you as an ox what an ox is, Sheepdog. That is on you to define ox for you.
Ooh,
I would explain to you what a dog is. But I will not get into ox.
Okay, it's just it's a castrated adult male cattle.
Again, it sounds absolutely correct for you.
I've met several oxes, actually, looking at this.
Sorry?
And Anna, you revealed before there.
Anna
that
is
she
also an ox, yeah. So,
fascinating.
Yeah, I'm a dog, which is why I am in tune with Dave the dog, I imagine. That's why we're buddies, because we're both dogs. In fact, I need to check whether Dave is a dog. Dave might not be a dog, according to the calendar. I have to look it up. Anna, what year was Dave born?
Or a rat.
I don't know. One of the years.
Brilliant. I'll see if that's on the calendar. Goodness me. Sheepdog, you've been missing for so very long. People might have forgotten who you are. Would you like to would you like to remind them? Tell them whatever ridiculous nonsense you've been getting up to this week. I imagine there's 20 stupid things you can tell us about before we get into talking about games.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about this because I said to Claire, obviously I was under the weather last week. That's why I didn't do the show, and I was kind of under the weather building up to the show, and then still over the weekend. So not really much happened. But I did think about how I've been trying to play games, and I have played some games, but not as much as I would like to have done, or not as much as I actually tried to do, because the universe just seemed to be insistent on me not. First off, I got Burnout Paradise on Game Pass, and spent ages. I got that, and I got Gears. Gears Tactics, and I spent absolutely ages downloading Gears Tactics, waiting for it to start and everything, and my internet was just being an idiot. And then I finally sat down to play it, and my wife walked in and said whatever program she wanted to watch was starting, could I go and do something else? So I was very, very dejected and thinking, well, I just don't feel very well and I want to play some games. And then I was trying to play Burnout Paradise, and I started that up thinking it'd be like the old one where you just get levels handed to you and you just go, it starts you up and you're there. But no, you have to drive around that and find the levels. So I was getting a bit stressed. And
Burnout Paradise is the best Burnout game ever by miles.
It wasn't what I was expecting. I haven't played it enough to go into that kind of thing, but I was expecting to be handed levels. So when I had to drive around and think, it put me in first person, and I just thought, I feel a bit rough. I can't play this. So I had a rough week. And I thought, right, I need to get through this week and then do the podcast and all this. And my friend suggested we all meet up and play Among Us yesterday. And so that was the thing all week, getting me through the week, thinking, right, I'm going to have a real good blowout with them. I got some beers in. I'd arranged that Claire was getting home from work late, but she was going to join us in the game once she got in. It was all prepared. I was very excited, and it got to like, what, it must have been 7:30 yesterday, and I was all prepared. And as my wife came in the door, she was like, I'm a bit tired, but I'm ready. I even put the game, while she was getting changed, I put the game on her phone for her, so she was ready to play it. And then I heard my daughter upstairs going to her, Mum, my head's a bit itchy. And they're talking, and she comes down, and she's like, there's apparently an outbreak of nits at school. So I had to go over to Tesco, and all my mates are like in the chat. I'd set up a Discord channel, and all my mates are in the Discord channel all chatting away, and I'm like, Claire's not home yet, I'll be back in a bit. And I had to go to Tesco's and absolutely humiliate myself buying 3 bottles of bloody, what's it called, full marks or something stupid.
They must have been so confused about you buying shampoo.
Well, this is all I kept thinking. Bald man walks in to buy 3 bottles of this stuff. Like, I kept thinking, what if there's a limit on it? And I get embarrassed because they say to me, you can only buy 1 bottle when I've got... Because it was like, there's only 2 applications on it, but it says if someone in your house has got it, the whole house has to wear it. So I was thinking, it's pointless me even having it. I was like, I could probably get away with a squirt and I'd be done. But I basically picked up the 3 bottles. I was reading the back of it, and I thought, thank God I'm wearing a face mask. But then I thought, nah, I'm pretty identifiable. So I started picking up other things to just put around it. And I didn't have a basket, so I was just holding it, arms full of... I got a 4-pack of beer. I had a bag of popcorn, and I was just trying to balance them all. And then I thought, I can go to the self-service checkout. And I was like frantically trying to buy it all. And then I realised because I'd got beer, they had to come over and check through my bag. And I was like, no! So, yeah, I got back home, and then I had to spend until about 10 I had to do the boys while my wife sorted out my daughter, and then she had to do my hair and her hair, and we were all fine. It's only she, Adam, we found after we'd gone through the bloody comb and everything, so it was a complete waste of like 15 quid. I could have sorted it out for a £5. But when I finally got online, I said to Claire, I was like, I've got to tell them why I'm actually late, because you just being at work till 10 seems like a right cop-out. So I had to explain to them all, and they were fine, because it's a completely normal thing. It's not, it just happens, doesn't it? But it did feel a bit awkward being like, oh, half of the tweets, the messages I sent you weren't true. We've just been running around sorting out fleas all night. So I didn't really, we played like 2 games.
This is further proof that you tier 3 people are filth. Build a wall. Keep the tier 3 monsters out.
It is terrible.
Dirty filth.
Couldn't believe it. We were saying to her, like, she just heard it. It was in school, and she come and she just asked us about it. Oh, for God's sake! But yeah, by the time I got online, we played like 2 rounds, and everyone was like, "I got to go now. I got work in the morning," and so did I. So yeah, I just felt like my whole week has been a write-off, and the universe is just trying to break me. But I will get around to playing Gears Tactics. That looks really cool. I literally watched the entire intro video all the way up to when the 2 or 3, whatever, I can't remember what they were now. They walk out ready to attack you. It starts showing you how to fight back. And that's a lot of bloody video. Not like hours, but it must have been a good 10, 15 minutes. It felt long. I couldn't believe it. And she literally walks in and goes, yeah, I need to tell you now. And I was like... I can't play this upstairs. It's on the Xbox. Like, women should normally get that by now, surely. So, yeah, all I ended up playing was a bit more Miles Morales, which isn't really worth talking about at this point, is it? But, yeah, nits, family. That's what's got in my way this week. They've completely derailed me. And that is basically the long and short of my fortnight. It's just been everything going a bit rubbish and... feeling a bit under the weather, but I'm actually feeling all right now, and I think half of the problem was I needed to have my injection thing, which has been agonising me all week. I had that on Wednesday, and I feel like I'm a bit more boosted now.
Splendid.
There you go.
There we go. That's Sheepdog's story. Should we talk about Cyberpunk, which is a new game that's out this week? Cyberpunk.
Uh-huh.
I've played it, everybody.
Jesus. Okay.
Tev's played it.
You played it to prove a point, didn't you?
No, I'd already played it by the time you said that. I tweeted out yesterday morning in a sarcastic manner that I was looking forward to buying it, downloading it, never playing it, and then eventually deleting it when the next flavour of the month comes along. But then I bought it and well, no, I didn't intend to buy it. It was a joke. Then as the day went on, Anna's arrived on disc. So I had a little look at it as I was, because Anna left me specific instructions to make sure it was fully installed and downloaded and everything before she got home. So I'm sat there doing the 2-disc install for Anna, and just flicking through all the stuff that came with it, and thought, this looks all right. Maybe I'm a little bit interested. So while hers was installing off of the disc, I casually wandered back into my office, making sure nobody was following me. Left Dave with a little bowl of food, so he didn't know what I was up to, and sneakily purchased myself a copy of it and downloaded it. But of course, because it's 1,000 gig, it wasn't able to be played straight away. But after I finished my stream last night, because Anna was having a late start at work this morning, I thought, I'll stay up for a couple of hours and I'll give this a little go. So I had a go on it, and it's quite good. I had no idea what to expect, because as much as I paid as much close attention as I could when we went to the thing at EGX last year, and was really like taking notes, really paying attention to everything that happened in there, hardly slept through any of it.
Definitely weren't snoring.
Yeah, well, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought this was just... I was expecting it to be something like those terrible Division Destiny nonsense, shooting with a pretend story over the top that's not very much of a story, and actually it's just a boring generic shooter that I'll hate. I thought it was going to be one of those, even after I'd bought it. But having now I've played about 3 hours of it now. I've hardly used a gun at all. It's lovely. And it's basically Grand Theft Auto in the future, from what I can tell. It's like half Grand Theft... Like, it's maybe 60% Grand Theft Auto, 30% Mass Effect, and then a little bit of shooting on top is what I'm experiencing so far. And I'm enjoying it. It's fun. But I've not even got to the title screen yet. Apparently the title screen is 6 hours in.
If you're lucky.
It's an enormous
game. If you are lucky.
But I'm told if you just mainline the main story, you can do it. You can finish the game in 20 hours. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because the side quests affect the endings and stuff. So
there was sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but there was a talk of it. Most games, I saw someone put an analogy to this, like to explain what you're saying. But most games are like having a giant tree down the middle with lots of branches, whereas this is like a bush where the kind of bark is quite narrow and straight, but everything else is so mental and off of it that you kind of get lost in it, and that's the point, if that makes sense. Does that sound right to you?
That does sound right, because even though I've not hit the title screen yet, and I am still effectively being taken through a tutorial, because I've not met Keanu Reeves yet. I'm aware of the role that he plays in it, and that's not happened yet. So that's how early on I am. But I've probably got 15 missions that I could go and do, because my phone's constantly ringing. There's constantly people that you bump into when you're out and about who, if you stop and have a conversation with them, you get missions thrown at you. You have your car that you can just drive around and explore the city and go wherever you feel like, effectively. And there's certainly a lot to it. It's big. It definitely feels like I'm in a living, moving world. I have had a couple of the famous bugs that we've seen already. I put one on Twitter earlier where I tried to summon my car, because it's got the good old Red Dead summon your horse mechanic. You can summon your self-driving car and it'll drive to you. I tried to summon mine, and it didn't come, but I could hear honking of a horn in the distance. So I summoned it again, and I can just hear it honking its horn, calling me. So I kept trying to summon it, kept hearing the horn honking, and basically followed the honking horn sound as it was getting louder and louder, and eventually found my car that had spawned on the central barrier of a road, with the barrier between the wheels perfectly balanced, so no wheels were in contact with anything, and it was just stuck there. I tried to get in it. There was no way of getting it down. I had to jog 200 metres away so it despawned, and then summon it again so it would drive up to me. But it just spawned on top of something that it wouldn't work. So that was bug number one. Bug number two, my character is always entirely naked. And it's not even my fault. I didn't realise she was naked until I got back to my house for the first time, looked in the mirror, and there's just nipples looking back at me. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Town really friendly to you.
Wasn't expecting to see you here. So I went to the wardrobe, put on all my clothes, went back to the mirror, that's still a lot of nipple. So I experimented a little bit, went and sat down on the sofa to watch some TV and tried to crane myself around and look at my legs. I'm definitely wearing clothes, so it's only my reflection that's naked. My body isn't, because you very rarely see yourself in third person. The character creation in this game is so in-depth. You can even pick what penis size or nipple arrangement that you've got on your chest. But you never see yourself in third person, ever, apart from in a reflection. Or I went and had an extra cybernetic implant done, was lying on the little chair, and because they were swapping my eye out, my eye was out of my head, but I could still see, so they turned it around and pointed it at me. And there I am, completely naked, lying there, having my eye done, thinking it gave me the option of no vagina, but I chose to have one, and now I can see it, and I wish my eye was back in my head. Put some clothes on, please. But it just seems I have the she's always naked bug, but clearly not naked, because no one else is seeing the nudity. It's just with my eyes I'm naked, but when I'm wandering around, no one's saying she's naked over there.
It's a reverse Emperor's New Clothes.
I think it might be. And also the controls are quite clunky in places. I guess I'll get used to them, but because there's so many missions that you get and you constantly be giving new ones, I wanted to do the main story mission. I wanted to go meet up with my buddy, but I didn't know where he was. So I was trying to figure out how to reselect that mission so that I could then get the waypoint to go to him. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find where the menu was. So in the end, I just started pressing all the buttons and ended up throwing a grenade out of my own front door, which didn't go down well with the neighbours. And then eventually found that you have to press the big stupid touch button in the middle of the PlayStation controller. And then you get this whole menu come up that tells you that you can get into your journal and your map, and there's a few bits of it like that are a little bit clunky, and some of the buttons feel backwards. Like I'm having to press square to select stuff. What pervert presses square on a PlayStation controller to select stuff? Everyone knows you press X. Why am I now pressing square? What the hell is that? Fix your control system, you weirdos. But
X is probably the penis button or something.
It might be. But yeah, a few little moans aside, the actual game itself seems like a lot of fun. The world is fantastic, and I am looking forward to playing more of it, which is always 3 hours in for me to be keen to continue is always a good sign for a game, especially when I know just how big it is, and I'm quite happy to go back and commit some more time to it and get more involved. So I'm certainly getting very strong Grand Theft Auto vibes from it at the moment, and that was probably the last really big, like, long game that I completed, Grand Theft Auto 5. That's how long ago it was. But I'm enjoying it. I think I will continue to wander around it, trying to figure out how to cover up my... I think I went for nipple option 2, and I need to cover up my number 2s.
Seems fair enough. I mean, I can...
Pab,
I can.
Before you tell us about this, if you are playing as a man, you need to find a different podcast, because you should be aware of the rules for MGP in games where you can select your character, so be very careful what you say next.
What do you mean? Hang on, what's the rule?
You have to be a woman, obviously. You have to be a woman, and you always have to wear pink if you get the choice.
No. I don't know why. I picked woman for Immortals. I picked woman for Assassin's Creed. I picked woman for most of Watch Dogs.
You know the words, Pab. No woman, no pod.
But all of a sudden, you get a game where you can select your own penis.
For some reason,
chose to be a man.
felt that. I felt I'm going to go male on this one. Don't know what it was.
The women can have a penis still. You still get the choice between
I don't think that was the reason. I mean,
dangler or non-dangler.
Pab wanted to know what it was like to be a man with a small penis. Pab, for the first time in
it
your life.
No.
Thought, let's put that down to 6 inches. That seems small. I'll go for that. And you're just wandering around thinking, I feel pathetic.
It's it's
feel free. It's so small. No one notices me.
So I wouldn't see any of that stuff because I'm streaming it, so I'm playing it with the nudity off.
Oh, Pab.
Well,
that was going to be my first question. Can you turn that off?
Apparently, it doesn't matter because Twitch let it go anyway. Twitch apparently let it go. So I could have been playing with the nudity on all along. But but I turned that off. And I did have the same bug as you. Whenever I went I looked into the mirror, I had no pants on. I'm just in my little Y fronts, and I'm like, what? I had to keep going back because I was just you go in the mirror and you pretty much just look in the mirror to do funny faces.
At least you had some Y-fronts, Pab. The first thing I need to do is go and find a bra shop because she's got them out constantly.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. That's the thing with the no nudity thing. It puts underwear on everybody. So yeah, it does. That is one thing it does for you. But yeah, you're right. This game is pretty damn good. So far, so good. I've streamed it for about 15 hours now.
Where do you people find the time?
Have you slept since it came out, Pab? That's ridiculous.
Yes, I know, bonkers. Doing some massive streams yesterday and today. But yeah, it's bugs galore, but nothing game breaking, nothing horrendous.
They should have delayed it to fix it. Why didn't they think of that?
Well, there's literally a fix that came out 20 minutes ago.
On PC.
Whatever it is, an hour ago maybe.
So a lot of the big stuff's been sorted now.
No, not necessarily. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. The bugs are all I'll say this on stream. I said it's now. This game, the scope of this game, is ginormous. You cannot expect an open world with the amount of people, the amount of AIs in this game, to not have bugs in it. Look at Skyrim.
I think it is reasonable to expect not constant nudity.
I was going to say,
surely that's one of the first things you notice.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm not because I'm not seeing that. I can't vouch for that. Do you know what I mean? I agree with you.
Testers were just like tits out, guns out, let's go, and just
they must have been. All their QA team must have been perverts.
Every time they went past the mirror, yep, the tits are still out. This is great. Tick that box. And day one, everyone's like, "Oh, we shouldn't have let that pervert do all the testing. For God's sake, we should have realised when he came to work naked every day that he was going to ruin it."
Yeah, you're right.
He was probably working from home, testing it, just thinking, "Yeah, this is normal."
Yeah,
everyone's naked.
Clothes don't apply in the future.
Yeah, I mean, certain things like that. Yes, there are certain things that ideally would be better, but I'm only seeing bugs that are minor stuff. So I'm seeing cigarettes floating in the air. I'm seeing briefcases floating where people were stood and then they've walked off and just left the briefcase and it's just hovering. It's just minor little bits.
I had my mate get out of the car and then just walk through it to go over to the other side of the road.
It is buggy.
Why'd you get out of it?
It is buggy, and a lot of people are saying they should have delayed it again just to get this right, and they will get it right. It's just going to take a bit of time. But other than that, like I was saying, the scope of this game is massive, and like I say, Skyrim, Fallout, most Bethesda games that have the scope similar to this. Any GTA has bugs. The scope is huge, and you're gonna get it. It's gonna happen. No, not necessarily to the scale that we've got here, because there is a lot. But most of it is non-game breaking and is quite amusing at times. To be fair,
do you think some of it's not on purpose? That's the right. Well, actually, no. I will go with that.
No.
On purpose, to the extent that it gets a lot of people talking about it.
No,
because you hear me out. You go on Reddit when it was released. Yesterday it was released, or the day before?
Thursday. Thursday yesterday.
So it was every other thread was, I've just selected my player, I've just started the game, and they're naked. I've got this bug. She's supposed to be wearing a top and her boobs are out. And it was like, I ended up just unfollowing our gaming on Reddit because it was just the same thing over and over again. And you can't buy that kind of marketing, can you really? It was everywhere. And everyone's talking about how it's got a big bug which makes everyone naked. So teenagers are going to want it. And yeah,
that might be the case, Sheepdog. But their share price went down 29% today because of it.
Who's did?
Yeah, but the share prices are not.
But I mean that is the effect that this is having on them on it immediately. They will recover that. It's probably more of a case of everyone sold the shares at that peak to rebuy them when it goes low again. I wouldn't imagine they dropped just because there was a bit of nudity in a game that is famous for, from a gaming company that's famous for nudity. Yeah, I mean,
I've got to admit that I've said before, I was convinced this game had flop written on it from the hype around it, and everyone seemed to be jumping around going nuts about the bugs, and I kind of thought, like, it was weird seeing all the positive reviews going, it's buggy as hell, but it's a good game, and I'm thinking, I've seen games get torn apart for less, but I'm pleased to hear you guys saying it's good, because yeah, I don't want to see a game be rubbish. I kind of went, when Kev said it was like Mass Effect and whatever you said, Grand Theft Auto, because now I want it a little bit, if that's what it's like. I'd kind of, exactly like you, thought it was a Destiny and the one in the city. I've forgotten the name. I'm having a brain fart. I thought it was Division. I thought it was going to be like all that and just go repeat the areas, boring, and I admit I haven't watched loads of videos on it because A, I don't like doing all that, I feel like it spoils it, but B, I just didn't think it looked particularly good from the adverts, and I thought, if you can't woo me in with your advert, I'm not going to bother researching it any further, I'll just not get it. But I am hearing good things, so I might end up putting this on. This has solved the Christmas problem. I could ask for it, but
the one warning I would add to that is apparently it is rough on the previous generation consoles.
Yes,
right.
Very, very rough.
Oh no, actually, yeah, I'd heard it. I was going to say I'd heard it was bad on PS5, but it's PS4. It's terrible on, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I will just leave it. I was going to say what put me off was it being first person only. Someone said.
Yeah,
that's weird.
What, it putting me off, or it being it?
No, it's weird. It's weird that it's first person only. I don't really get why you spend so much time doing the character creation and then never see the character. It just seems really weird.
Because I was hoping they'd have the insanely good. I mean, I know it's different companies and everything, but with Last of Us setting the bar on, like, let's let everyone play it in the way that benefits their, either disabilities or abnormalities or whatever it is. So me being a bit weird with games making me sick, I thought, well, maybe this will be the new thing all the big companies do. But apparently, no, they just do first person.
It's got a colourblind mode in. They acknowledge colourblindness.
So I don't know what to think now. Then your review had made me think, go get it, Sheepdog. And now I'm thinking, actually, it's probably not right for me until I jump into the next gen, which won't be for ages.
Anna, what do you think of it?
I don't know.
Because you've played a bit of it, haven't you?
I've played an hour.
And presumably you spent that whole time creating your character because you love a character creator.
Because that's all I do. I literally did the tutorials and rescued a lady from a bath.
Right, yeah. That is
literally all I've done.
Opening hour or so, yeah.
Pardon?
That's probably about right, yeah, opening hour or two, yeah.
Yeah, that's
what was she doing in the bath?
And it's fine. I really don't have a lot because it came yesterday. It was in store. Bless Kevin, he did it for me. But I went straight to sleep. I was so tired. I had a really bad day. Not a bad day at work, but I had a stressful day at work and needed some sleep. Yeah. So I've played an hour. I like it. I had boobies and boy bits at one point because I thought it was funny.
Okay.
I had a giggle with that, but now I just have girl bits everywhere, and I don't have any glitches. Though
what about the game, Anna?
The texture popping and the textures that aren't there are annoying me a little bit because they were telling me this game was gonna be up there, and it's not at the moment.
It probably will be when they make a PS5 version.
Yeah,
remember, it's still a PS4 game, isn't it? They haven't made a PS5 version yet.
Well, they're in the process of doing it, but I've enjoyed...
I do still think they should have just waited. Bring it all out finished on next gen. It's a very odd way they've done it.
Yeah, but it's been in process for years, hasn't it? So... I've enjoyed it, but...
To me, that's an argument for taking another 6 months if you need it.
Yeah, but they'd already done that.
That might have hammered their share prices more.
Yes, and I feel like interest was waning after the last delay, and I feel like that's what they feared, of interest waning, dwindling enough to be the point where this is just going to flop straight out of the gate at that point because everyone's just sick and tired of waiting for it now. And expecting
perhaps in future they need to be a little bit less loosey-goosey with setting their release dates in the first place. And actually, I mean, take a leaf out of my good buddies at Sports Interactive's book. They don't announce a release date until like a month before, because they won't announce a release date they can't guarantee they're going to hit. And that is frustrating in the opposite direction, because you never quite know exactly when it's coming, but at least then you're not delaying it constantly. I mean, how many times was this delayed and it's still not finished? It's not really acceptable.
I mean, I feel like that's the kind of thing I would end up saying, and then you would tell me that that's how gaming is now. Games.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, how many times do Ubisoft, Bethesda, and so forth bring out games that aren't really finished because they've got
Ubisoft are bringing churning out the same old nonsense every year. They're
they
7 years and not finishing it.
They have less excuse because it's like you're not using that dissimilar a setup and you're somehow ballsing it. But this has been built, from 8 years ago onwards. It's
exactly. So to me, that means another 6 months doesn't hurt. Whereas if you're
Assassin's
Creed and you've got to hit your launch window every year, then you've got to hit it. But this one, I don't see. If they weren't sure it was going to be ready for that original launch date earlier in the year, why set it? Why not wait until you know when it can be released?
What they should have probably done is because what they kind of did this year was they said, right, we're putting it back, but we promise we won't. And then they said, oh, actually, we've got to put it back again. Maybe if that first time they'd just gone, we'll bring it out in 2021, COVID's kind of wrecked the year, everyone would have gone, yeah, fair enough. But they kept putting that luminous yellow background up, didn't they? Saying, sorry, everyone. Which didn't help. I think, I agree with you, but I think once they'd become a bit of a meme, people were starting to really notice the pattern of, it's been a couple of weeks, then they suddenly drop it back again. This time they seemed to commit to putting the date on everything, didn't they? I remember there just being loads of posters and stuff suddenly coming out about 2-3 weeks ago, and you thought, well, it's got to happen now, innit? They can't delay when they've literally... I mean, I hadn't really seen that be announced before. There wasn't like, magazines are starting to put things in. So, I don't know, the other ones, they must have kind of known they were going to do it eventually, whereas this time they definitely committed to it.
Right, we're going to take the length of an ad break to discuss which nipple size Anna chose for her character compared to mine, and then when we're back, we can move on and not mention nipples again for the rest of the episode. Can we cope with that?
Yes, I think we can.
Excellent. And there we go. Welcome back, everybody. Did anyone have anything more to say about Cyberpunk 2077?
What I'll say is, I don't want anyone to come across like us nitpicking it with this stuff.
We're doing a detailed review, Pat. It's very rare.
I'm saying I don't want
three of us have played a game launch week.
I don't want it to come across like we are against it, though. We are down on it.
Oh, no, I'm not. I know
really
I've got
good.
a habit of slating games I don't play, and that's not what this is at all. I was kind of, I don't know anything about it really. It didn't look like my thing at first, and lots of things I'd heard about it put me off it, and then Kev instantly made me think, actually, yeah, it does sound all right, but I don't think I'll be able to run it on anything.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to think I'm No Man's Skying this. That was a completely different kettle of fish.
I want to say...
Don't worry, Sheepdog, it is on Stadia, so you can play it on that.
You could do, yeah.
I've been so close to looking at investing in something like that as a way to kind of play these sorts of things and thinking, is that something I could ask? Because me, it's the 11th of December, so Christmas is like however many days away, and I've still not figured out what I want from my wife. So maybe some kind of online hosting PC
you do gifts wrong. She should just get you something. You shouldn't be telling her what to get you. You need to sort your gifting out, you monster.
No, I know, but she can't. She doesn't know what to do and will not like it.
Pab, what were you saying?
I was saying that I genuinely like this game, and it grows on you. It grows on you, and things seem foreign to you now, like you were saying about the controls and stuff. Once you like The Witcher, same people. Once you get to grips with it, it becomes second nature, and then you complaining that things are on square. It won't.
Pab, you say that. I never got used to the stupid two swords in The Witcher.
No,
and
well, that's
one of the
swords.
reasons I stopped playing it. No, but that's what I mean. Some of the stupid stuff in The Witcher is why I stopped playing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, like you were saying about the square being the select button, whatever it is. it becomes second nature to you to the point where you start to think, well, you think other games should play like that sort of thing. That's what I feel like. It's been like that to me. I'm not really. I'm getting a little confused with how the start and select buttons being opposite to like everything that I've played in the last 6 months. That's the only thing that's thrown me on it. I'm forever opening the save menu rather than the actual in-game menu. But yeah, I like many games this year, like Tsushima, like Watch Dogs, a little bit at a certain degree to Assassin's Creed. I had to kind of learn to love this game more than what I did initially. So the opening hours, I was fine at it. The shooting is a bit all over the place at times, but you get used to it. You become accustomed to it, and because the story is so good, you want to like kind of push on and progress, and like I say, become accustomed to it. It's good. It has been very good. Like I say, I've got to the title card. I want to say, Kev, it's closer to 8 hours than 6 hours.
Yeah, but you're like Anna. You faff about. I'm going main story to main story to
I'd
main
be surprised
story.
if Anna made it in 10 hours.
You probably
because Anna likes to have a look around.
Venus, won't you?
I do. I have a look around.
Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts in this game.
I pick up everything. I was in the first area and saw like a factory and this. I'll go over there and have a look. And the game said, "No, don't go there. You're not ready
don't
for
go.
that yet." So I was like, "Sorry."
What are the villains in this? Are they people?
Don't answer that, Pab, because I don't know yet, and I don't want to spoil it.
I can't answer that right now because you said that, and I went, "Huh."
I didn't mean like, are they people, robots, or whatever? I just meant, is it? I suppose it's still a spoiler. Is it like aliens, or is it?
No, I mean from what I'm, you're in a city, and it's kind of like gang warfare. From what I've seen thus far, that is
okay.
that you'll get that from the beginning, and I'm getting that 15 hours in. It's the aesthetic more than it is the people are all the same.
Depends on the mission as well, does it? Like the villain could be a cat stuck in a tree, or it could be a woman in a bath. Apparently,
she was in an ice bath, Sheepdog. It wasn't an actual. She wasn't in there with candles on, having a nice soak.
She didn't see it, Pab. I haven't played the game.
She was lying under a naked corpse.
Yeah,
Right.
He wasn't naked for me. He was a guy had shorts on. But yeah.
Pab's playing the never nude version of Cyberpunk.
He had hot pants
little
on.
denim shorts.
That reminds me, just as an aside, I put the no swearing thing on Gears Tactics, watching those videos, thinking it would just not swear, it would just cut that out. And while they're talking, he goes, "Oh, you old," and then carries on talking. It's like, it immediately ruined the atmosphere of the game. I think I might have to turn swearing on and just damn my kids, they can hear it all day. But I couldn't handle the just mid sentence from them because they couldn't think of another way to do it. Like silencing it would have been fine. But anyway, carry on, Pab.
I did something similar with there's a content creator mode on there. Turn that on to so you don't get copyrighted music in there, which apparently doesn't matter. Because CD Projekt Red missed some song in there that is copyrighted, so it still plays regardless whether you got it on or not. I was like, great. Also, that I don't know how this works. I thought I'm going to go on to a different radio station in the car with the copyrighted stuff on, and I go on the jazz channel just because I was like, it's just jazz. It's just like jazz playing.
Copyright jazz.
Yeah. The entire jazz channel is silent. The radio station for jazz is silent. I was like, what? You cannot...
Is that the way of saying in 2077 people have finally developed taste?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So I turned it off today because I was like, we need some jazz in this game. Let's just have some jazz while we drive around. I don't know. I've seen some things. I've seen some things in this game. I want to talk to you about some of the things I've
scarred,
seen.
Pab.
I've seen some things in this game, just bonkers, glitches, and minor bugs that are just like crazy. But also the things that are like the actual some of the storylines in it are bonkers. Like I did a quest for. I mean, you probably haven't come across the Delamain taxi service yet. I doubt you have, which are like automated taxis. The automated taxi quest is so good. Please, 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 Kev, you need to do this quest.
I refuse.
It's a side quest, but it is so damn good. So I'll give you the premise of it. Right, so Delamain are a taxi company. They're an AI driving taxi company. And you use them for a mission previously, and then at the start of today, it wasn't. Yeah, at the start of today's stream, pretty much. The quest is go and get in your car. So I go and get in my car, and I look in the front of my window. As I'm looking straight at the front window, there is a car coming right at me, just full speed right at me. I'm like, this is a bug. This is a bug, and it just smashes me, rolls my car over, and everything. I was like, this is a serious bug. This, and then all I heard is this little like, AI voice go beep beep mother effer, and just drives off. And I'm like, that wasn't a bug, and that goes on a crazy mission that sets you off, and it's so good. It's so good.
One thing I've read, Pab, and I'm guessing this is the mission. Somebody said that something about a taxi and it being the best mission, but a friend of theirs never got it because of a decision they made earlier in the game. So,
see, I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah. That is
you, Kev, and Anna may experience entirely different routes on this.
I have a question then. Which lifestyle did you pick at the start?
Corpo.
Nomad.
Interesting. Anna, which one did you go with?
Nomad.
See, I went with Nomad as well. Interesting. So you've gone Corpo. So you'll get a different game play to me and Anna, Kev. So I'm interested to see what you do.
Well, I'm already doing a mission that I assume is only for people with my background, because the very first thing I did is hook up with my former contacts from being in the corporation. So I imagine as a nomad, you would have done that mission differently. Because
yes,
you probably wouldn't have had the contacts.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Pick up your bindle or something.
It's nomads like you start off out in the sticks and you have to work your way into the city, and
it's without being spoilery. It's the bit where you're effectively trying to join a gang right near the start, and I'm basically working with the gang's baddies rather than against them, which I assume you would be, maybe.
This is the thing, you see. It's not ringing any bells to me now. I'm really confused now. I'm like, interesting.
Oh, there you go. Perhaps it is completely different because of different backgrounds.
I don't know, potentially. Cool. There are so many different ways. I mean, I've seen someone who was playing Nomad do a quest completely different to how I did it, where they spoke to a different AI character, a different character in the game, and get a different like outcome to how I did the mission. I was like, how have you done that? I don't know how someone did it to physically even get to that point. What did I miss to not come across that option? It's bonkers. Like, I thought the option was cut and dry. You do this to do this to do that, and it's like, no.
Well, what a clever game!
It's that's the thing. There's that much going on that
you'd think they'd learn how to draw on a Microsoft Paint T-shirt if they can do all this.
But you're wearing the T-shirt. It's just how you see yourself, Kev. That's what it is.
I mean, in real life, I do always see myself naked.
Exactly. See, there you go. It knew.
As a heavily bosomed, heavily tattooed woman, like I am in this game.
I did read again. Advice you give characters has like lasting effects in the game as well. So that could be another thing, that you just say something to someone and suddenly they're not there later on, or they are there, or lose their job and that kind of thing. It'd be interesting to just see how different. We'll have to do a wash up at the end where you three compare your stories, a bit like we did with. Did we do it with Detroit in the end, or did we?
We did, yeah.
We did. Oh yeah, we did.
We found out you're an idiot.
I was thinking, I wonder how I can start this game and just end up killing the main character at the beginning. I'll find the way, and I won't even be trying to. It'll just happen. But I need to know. I don't want to spoil anything, so can somebody let me know if they fix the PS4 version? And the moment I know it's fixed,
I'll tell you what, Sheepdog. I tell you what. From what I've heard, the Stadia one isn't a bad option to go for if you're desperate to go for it. You only have to buy the game.
For anything, Pab, you know me, Mr. Chilled.
How does Stadia work now? You don't have to have a Prime, one of them premium subscriptions, do you?
No, you just buy the game.
You just buy the game, can't you? And just play it on a browser. with a controller.
So, because I have one of the old Chrome stick dongle things, can I?
You need you need one that works with it. I don't know if
I mean, but you could just play it on your MacBook in a browser.
Just open.
You don't need to do it on the TV.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just thinking that's 15 inches wide.
Yeah.
But then again, if you or would that be too slow?
You could HDMI it into the telly, surely.
Yes, good point. That'd be quicker. God, computer degree there, going to good use. Okay, that's
because
food for
Sheepdog,
thought.
basically, I don't think this is a goer on the old systems now at this stage.
No. What was I watching? Oh, I mean, again, actually, it was Gears. To keep going back to it, there was a couple of scenes on that again. I honestly, all I've done with this game is watch the videos, but I had all these bits where I was making, not notes on paper, but I was just thinking about it as I was going, and you can tell they've not made that thinking it's got to look good on my Xbox. They're thinking forward on that because it didn't look great. And I've said the same with Miles Morales. I feel like it's a little bit cheeky how they've under-polished all these other games, but I get it. They've only got the team to do the game. It's not like they're just bringing in armies of people to do it. But it's a shame that they haven't been able to just deliver, A quality stuff across the whole board, because I imagine there's more people like me than there are like the three of you on the new lot.
I very much doubt it, Sheepdog. There's not a chance there's more people like you. My word.
Only in terms of consoles.
Pab, are you playing Cyberpunk on PS5 or
I'm
PC?
playing on PC. Apparently that is the place to be playing it right now, seeing as you're playing a very nice PS4 version now, aren't you, on the PS5?
Yeah.
As it stands, so apparently the PC and Stadia are the places to play it. It looks damned amazing. I've turned it down a little bit. I've got a solid 60 on it constantly with ray tracing on and everything. It looks damned amazing, even with all the floating cigarettes and chopsticks and stuff. But yeah, I'm on PC.
I need one of our listeners to phone up my employer and spend £500,000 on firewalls so I can get the commission off it and buy a PC. That's what I need. Listeners, come on. Find out where I work, use the internet, go buy £500,000 worth of firewalls.
He is misspeaking. He means fireworks. He works in a fireworks shop.
Yeah, that's why I'm bad at my job. I can't get it right. But no, come on.
It's fireworks, Sheepdog. Fireworks.
Could you imagine them on Monday? We just had a call. Someone wants to spend £500,000 on fireworks for an end of year party.
Surely at that point, if someone wants to buy £500,000 worth of anything, no matter what your business is, surely the answer is of course. And then you just figure out a way to sort it.
There was a time when, that was the answer, but now that happens now and again. I mean, it's not £500,000, but people do ring up and say, do you do this? And I have to say no, and I'm thinking that is a lot of money to, I tried figuring it out once and it led to so many other problems that we just don't do it now because, I tried to just go, it'll be fine, thinking, I'll make it work, the money will be worth it, and it wasn't. It was just months of pain.
Who's playing with an automatic card shuffler in the background?
Me.
It's not me. Why are you shuffling?
Doing, Anna?
I'm playing Astrobot.
Rumble.
She's running a casino.
Right, we've filled 5/6 of this podcast with Tales of Sheepdog and Cyberpunk. Has anyone played any other games in the last week they want to talk about?
Yes, I can tell you about a few little things.
Go on then.
Come on, Pab.
So on the lead up to this,
Pab, you've got 12 minutes.
I've been just running the clock on my streams now, just waiting for Cyberpunk this week, and I've played. I'd probably say close to 10 hours of Immortals Fenyx Rising now. And I tell you what, that game is pretty damn good as well. That game is alright for what it is. You don't need, like I say, there's so many good games out there. You don't necessarily. It seems like they've sent this one out to die, if I'm honest with you, out of all of them.
Pab, don't oversell it, mate. No. Pretty good as well. No, sent it out to die.
So what they've. Well, sort of they've had Watch Dogs, Ubisoft, they've had Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then they've just kind of just let this one out at the start of December, and it's like in the week when they didn't know Cyberpunk would be in this week. This has been pending for months, and Cyberpunk came in and went, "We're going to eat your lunch now. Get out of the way," sort of thing, and that's what has pretty much happened. You don't necessarily need this game, but if you're not really interested in Cyberpunk, but you like you like sort of Assassin's Creed and you like the aesthetic of Breath of the Wild, then this game is for you. It's damn good. It is a very good game. It's a very good game. I've been through a lot of dungeons this week, and the puzzles in the dungeons are very cool. The world itself is bright and colourful, and yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing it, and I get the feeling that game will plummet in price over Christmas and into the new year, because I just don't think it'll get the traction it deserves. So yeah, if you're looking for something like that, also it's on everything. It's on everything. It's even on Switch. So what? Yeah.
So loud the noise gate broke.
Yeah.
Did you guys see yesterday that the new Mass Effect was teased, and it's got Liara in it, and she picked up an N7 thing off the floor, suggesting it's a proper sequel.
Oh, it's
like
a follow-up. Yeah, it is.
4.
It is a follow-up.
How exciting is that?
They picked up what? Sorry.
She picked up a piece of metal with N7 written on it.
Oh yeah, the Mass Effect thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I saw that this morning and was like, oh. That'll be the moment I feel like I have to get a new device if I haven't already got one by then.
No, it's alright, Sheepdog. It's probably about 4 years away.
Probably, which hopefully I'll be sorted by then. Well, the listener's going to buy all the fireworks. We already established that. So yeah, sorted.
And there was no Dragon Age, wasn't there, as well?
Oh, was the Dragon Age stuff as well?
Yeah, Dragon Age last night as well.
I love a bit of Dragon Age.
I didn't. I only saw the handful of the stuff, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, Dragon Age coming.
Yeah, I mean that's been coming for a while though, hasn't it? To be fair,
it's not out for a long time, but
yeah, still another 2 or 3 years away, and then so that makes Mass Effect probably 6 years away. So yeah, there was a lot of
so
stuff.
Don't tease it now, you idiot.
Someone said that.
I know. I was thinking that when you were saying why do people do it, that came into my head, and I just thought, there's no need, is there? If they said here's the game, it doesn't build up any extra hype now. No one's going, oh, I forgot that existed. Or, well, I know we're talking about it, and I was a bit excited, but it's not going to make me more excited.
They're not going to sell any more copies in 6 years for having teased it now.
No,
if they said to me, it's coming out in January, I'd be going like, Claire, we need to find the money for me to go and go. Like, I really want this one, and it'd have been pushing me. But like Kev said, knowing that's coming out in 3 years' time or whatever is not going to really push me. I've already had the discussion with her. I was like, I've looked at what's coming out next year, and honestly, I might have forgotten something, but I don't see me needing one until like after my birthday at least. And I might be wrong. There's probably something I've forgotten, but it's a little bit worrying that there's nothing coming out at the moment that is particularly making me fussed. Which, yeah, saying that out loud on my gaming podcast is a little bit awkward, but I can't see what I need to get at this point.
Come on, Sheepdog. Next gen FIFA's out. What more can you want?
I keep nearly getting whatever FIFA's on EA on the Game Pass, and then
20.
Thinking, no. 20. So 21 will be out soon. Out on there soon in 4 months, will it, or something?
Yeah, it's not in about April time.
Oh, right. Okay, ages then. Well, at least 4 months, sorry.
That's about right.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can get into them. I'm terrible at them for starters. I almost got into the NHL games on there because I thought, they were quite fun, but I haven't yet.
One other thing I have played, and I've played start to finish on my stream last weekend, was a game called Little Misfortune. And
is it a Little Miss book?
It's a game, very very cutesy kind of looking game about a little girl who she's in like a broken home, and she hears a voice like a narrator in her head, and the narrator's telling her, we need to go and find this something that'll make her eternally happy. And she also sees a little fox running around, and she calls him Benjamin, and she likes Benjamin, and she wants to go and find Benjamin. And you're just wandering around, and you're just exploring this world that they're in. It's all like side scrolling 2D kind of thing, but it's so damn good. I mean, this is, like I say, done in 3 hours. And it goes places. It is bonkers at times. It is absolutely bonkers at times, but it is a very good game. I feel like it might be up your street, Kev, if I'm honest with you.
I'm interested.
Just for, like I say, it's one and done, 3 hours.
What's it on, Pab?
I've got it on PC, but it's on all sorts of stuff. I think it's on Switch. It's on Switch as well.
Can I play it on my Apple Watch?
I've just read Switch, PS4, Android, iOS, Xbox One, Windows, Linux.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I'm going to play it on Linux.
It's on everything. I mean, I got it in the Humble Monthly. It was in the latest Humble Monthly.
Don't Google it though, because it kind of tells you how it ends.
Yeah, don't Google it. Yeah.
Question. I'm a bit miffed at that. But
I don't know if it's on Game Pass as well. It could well be on Game Pass. I've not checked that. But yeah, it is. Like I say, so very good, so cool. The accents on it. I think it's made. It's a Swedish mum and dad who made it. I think, and it's the daughter who's playing the little kid.
I've just looked it up on Steam. I'm in. They've got Little Misfortune, but they also have Little Misfortune, the Fancy Edition. I want the Fancy Edition.
The way this kid says fancy is one of my favourite things. The way this little kid says fancy. It's so funny. It's so good. It's such a good game. It's like I say, it's not even that expensive. I don't think it's not a dear game.
22 quid for the Fancy Edition, really? 15 quid for the ordinary.
I mean, like I say, if you can hold it a few weeks for the Steam sale, I'm quietly confident that'll drop in today at some point. And it's so good. I highly recommend that one. And like I say, 3 hours, one and done. And yeah. That is another game to put on the complete list for me. But other than that, that's what I've got.
Anna, have you got any more?
No.
Splendid. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of another podcast, boys and girls. We are getting ever closer to the Google Zeitgeist Review of the Year show. I have been waiting for the Zeitgeist stuff to drop. It hasn't dropped yet, but as soon as it does, boys and girls...
It's not going to be a very big one, is it? It's going to be COVID.
I was going to say, can we have a rule in advance? Can we set this now that's just not an allowed answer?
We cannot. Because we don't set what the Zeitgeist is. The Zeitgeist sets the Zeitgeist. But also, we've got the Game of the Year show coming up. And I think we still need to do Game of the Generation.
No, we did it last year. I did check.
Did we?
We did.
I thought we did Game of the Decade.
Oh, wait.
I think we need to do Game of the Generation. So 3 specials coming up. I am sure.
Interesting. Maybe.
There you go.
Have to look.
But that'll do you for now. We've teased the future. Now I can end the show so that I can go back to playing some more Cyberpunk before bed. Hooray! So usual stuff. Go find us on the internet at MGUK Podcast, or you can find me everywhere apart from TikTok at Lelujo.
You can follow me on Twitter at RB6K. I said I wasn't going to get it wrong this week, damn it. And just to shout out, it's Pokemon Community Day weekend this weekend, where they recap all 12 community days in one weekend. So if you missed any, this is the weekend to do it. It's a 2-day event. Get on your phones and play it. And follow me at RB6K on Twitter.
Is that like with what they do in Equestrian, the 2-day event?
I guess so. I don't know, but
it's an equestrian event. I like it.
Gallivant around town catching Pokemon I already have because I'm a nerd and I already did it. But someone like you missed them all. You could do them all today and be as good as me in a weekend.
Oh goodness me! And I'm at Pab1986 on Twitter and Twitch.
See you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Konnichiwa.
Thanks for listening, folks.
Isn't that hello?
It is.
Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I didn't have the heart to tell her. You were supposed to go, peace!
Oh,
Konnichiwa,
peace!
everybody.